Justice Ihunwo has the details.
The Chief of Defense Staff said the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is giving them the necessary support and expressed their commitment to protecting democracy in Nigeria. General Musa commended the troops of the division and enjoined them to remain professional in carrying out their duties.
All members of the armed forces are happy with democracy and will continue to defend democracy. The military is dedicated, is committed in ensuring that we restore peace. We want the crude oil production of Nigeria to grow so that Nigeria can enjoy the dividends of democracy.
The Chief of Defense Staff also commissioned several projects executed by the division and carried out tree planting exercise. Meanwhile, the General Officer commanding 6th Division, Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, Major General Jamal Abdusalam, said the division will continue to place high premium on training of its personnel. He was speaking during a workshop on constitutional responsibilities of Nigerian soldiers through adherence to humanitarian and human rights laws organized at the division. Represented by his Chief of Staff, Brigadier General Mopariola, the GOC urged participants to apply the knowledge gained appropriately.
Headquarters 6th Division has continued to place high premium on training of its personnel to ensure troops are kept informed to discharge their duties in line with international best practices.
The division also carried out surgery for cataract patients during a free medical exercise. Some of the patients spoke about the gesture.
Very grateful for the assistance they've given. We are very much happy.
Most of us are very poor. We can't afford to pay the money in the other hospitals, but we are here doing it free.
Justice Ihunwo, RSTV News.
The House of Representatives has said declaring a state of emergency on malaria could be a step in the right direction given the spate of the bacterial disease across the country. To this end, the House called on the federal government to subsidize malaria drugs if it cannot make them free at all government-owned health centers for the benefit of Nigerians. Speaking at the inaugural meeting of the Committee on HIV/AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria Control, the chairman of the committee, Amobi Ogar, said, despite the rate of infection of malaria, most Nigerians could not access drugs because the drugs are quite expensive. The lawmaker also assured that the committee will do everything possible to rid the country of substandard and fake malaria drugs by stipulating appropriate sanctions for those producing them. A High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja, has ordered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, AFCC, to release with immediate effect the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Olukayode Adeniyi, who issued the order while delivering ruling in an ex parte application challenging the continued detention of the former CBN boss, ordered the anti-graft agency to, in the alternative, produce Emefiele in court on Monday, November 6. The order was issued by the court after listening to submissions of the ex parte application in a motion filed by Emefiele. Recall that the former CBN boss was first detained for over 4 months by the Department of State Services, DSS, over allegations bordering on fraud and abuse of office. He was arrested in early June, shortly after his suspension from office by President Bola Tinubu, and has been in custody since then, despite a court order. And now the Senate has screened and confirmed 3 additional resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. President Bola Tinubu had forwarded the names of 10 recs to the Senate for confirmation, which include Dr. Bumi Omosein Semi, Lagos, Dr. Anubum Onoha, Rivers, and Abubakar Dambo, Zamfara. Others include Etekamba Umoren, Akwa Ibom, Isa Shaka Ehimani, Edo, Oluwatoyin Babalola, Ekiti, Abubakar Ahmed Maji, Gombe, Shehu Wahab, Kwara, Professor Mohammed Yelwa, Niger, Anubum Onoha, Rivers, Ismaila Kara Moyi, Zamfara, Bumi Omoshein Demi, Lagos, and Aminu Kasim Idris, Nasarawa States. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and sister unions have vowed to take action against the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, following the brutalization of NLC President Joe Ajero in Owerri, the Imo State capital. This was as Uzodinma, reacting to the crisis, accused the NLC president, who is an indigene of Imo State, of meddling in state politics. According to Uzodinma, Ajero must learn to draw a line between his role as a labor leader and being a partisan Imo State indigene. The governor accused the leader of trying to blackmail his government over non-payment of salaries, insisting that all Imo workers have been paid their due wages. Reports have it that Ajero was brutalized by policemen in Owerri, the Imo State capital, when he went to mobilize workers for a strike. Now, the presidency has come out to give insight into the 2023 budgetary provision for what was labeled a presidential yacht. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the presidency explained that what was described as presidential yacht in the 2023 supplementary budget was actually a naval vessel equipped with specialized security devices meant for high-profile operation inspections rather than presidential use. According to the statement, what was named as presidential yacht in the budget is an operational naval boat with specialized security gadgets suitable for high-profile operational inspection and not for the use of the president, adding that it was called a presidential yacht by way of nomenclature because of the high-level security features. The naval boat was ordered by the Navy under the previous administration, but President Tinubu has consistently said that government is a continuum, as he inherited both assets and liabilities of past administrations. It also stated that the Chief of Naval Staff's office presented a committed obligation to the Ministry of Defense, which included the payment request for the boat, and informed that the President granted an approval of 62 billion naira out of over 200 billion naira filed. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has summoned the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and 11 electricity distribution companies (DISCOs) in connection with alleged mismanagement of the $321 million and 18.2 billion naira loans. The loans were designated for accelerated transmission and distribution interface, lines and substation projects. Chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salam, issued the summons during the appearance of Managing Director, Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN), Engineer Sule Abdulaziz before the committee in Abuja. These entities were asked to appear before the committee on November 8. The investigation was prompted by a petition regarding the alleged misuse of funds, which had been disbursed by the DISCOs by the CBN at the request of the TCN. Salam demanded detailed information regarding the loan disbursements, procurement processes, the involvement of DISCOs in the projects, the current status of the project, and the loan repayment structure from the beneficiaries. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, have issued a 5-day ultimatum for the redeployment of the Commissioner of Police in Imo State. The ultimatum is a response to the attack on the NLC President Joe Ajero in Owerri, the Imo State capital. The organized labor made this call in a press briefing in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, also demanding the arrest and prosecution of the Special Advisor to the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, on special duties, threatening to embark on a nationwide industrial action if their demands are not carried out. The union leaders are accusing the Imo State government as well as the police for being responsible for the attack on the NLC leader. The police and the state government have denied every allegations against them in their separate responses. And now in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has assured Nigerians that there is sufficient stock of currency for economic activities in the country and advised against panic withdrawals. A statement by the CBN's Director of Corporate Communications, Issa Abdul Mumin, said the Apex Bank's branches across the country are working to ensure the seamless circulation of cash. The Apex Bank's announcement came amid reports of an alleged scarcity of cash at banks, automated teller machines, ATMs, point of sale, POS, and among bureau de change BDCs in some major cities across the country. The CBN spokesperson said the seeming cash scarcity in some locations is due to high volume withdrawals from the CBN branches by deposit money banks and panic withdrawals by customers from the ATMs. He advised Nigerians to guard against panic withdrawals as there is sufficient stock to facilitate economic activities. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. Now time for a short break, but ahead on the news at 3. Rwandan President Kagame announces visa-free travel for all Africans. And Israeli military kill at least 9 Palestinians, injured dozens in occupied West Bank. Details of these and more stories when we return. Do stay.
I'm a keep when into the world stop spinning. I'm a keep when into the world stop spinning. I'm a keep when into the world stop spinning. I'm a keep when into the keep up with me. Come on, let's go. I'm a keep when into the world stop spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'm a keep when into the world stop spinning. Africa, you feel me? Come on, now let's get it.
New styles from Darling. Find your beautiful.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
This is RSTV World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. RSTV, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
You're welcome back. You're still watching RSTV News at 3. And now for the rest of our reports. On the foreign scene, Rwanda government has announced that it will allow Africans to travel visa-free to the country, becoming the latest nation on the continent to announce such a measure aimed at boosting free movement of people and trade to rival Europe's Schengen zone. President Paul Kagame made the announcement in the Rwandan capital Kigali, where he pitched the potential of Africa as a united tourism destination for a continent that still relies on 60% of its tourists from outside Africa. Once implemented, Rwanda will become the 4th African country to remove travel restrictions for Africans. Other countries that have waived visas to African nationals are Gambia, Benin, and Seychelles. Kenya's President William Ruto had announced on Monday plans to allow all Africans travel to the East African nation visa-free by December 31. Large areas of Tuscany have been hit by flooding, leaving 3 people dead and 6 others missing as heavy winds and rain buffeted central Italy. Cars were swept away and water levels were rising on the river Arno due to both its banks. Hospitals were flooded, people were trapped in their cars in underpasses and rescued from their homes with rubber dinghies. Storm Ciarán has caused more than 10 deaths across Western Europe. Winds of 207 kilometers per hour were recorded earlier on the northwest coast of France, as the storm also lashed southern England, Belgium, the Netherlands and Germany, as well as the Atlantic coast of Spain and Portugal. Deadly robots that can climb trees, AI friends, and a work-less future were among the topics as Rishi Sunak sat down with Elon Musk. The Prime Minister held a highly unusual in-conversation event with the billionaire X and Tesla owner at the end of this week's summit on artificial intelligence. The pair talked about how London was a leading hub for the AI industry and how the technology could transform learning. But the chat took some darker turns, with Sunak recognizing the anxiety people have about jobs being replaced, and the pair agreed on the need for a referee to keep an eye on the supercomputers of the future. Israeli forces have killed at least 9 Palestinians and injured dozens more in overnight raids in the occupied West Bank. At least 5 were killed in Jenin, where the Israeli military blew up the homes of 2 wanted Palestinians and destroyed at least 3 monuments in and near the Jenin refugee camp. Reports made available to newsmen have it that the raid, which is the 6th in the past 2 weeks on Jenin, started about 2200 GMT and lasted about 9 hours. The Jenin refugee camp has long been viewed as a bastion of Palestinian resistance, more so in the past 2 years when fighters started working in tandem to confront the Israeli occupation forces. In Al-Fawa refugee camp south of Hebron, Israeli forces confronted Palestinians for nearly 3 hours, killing 2 people and injuring at least 5 others. Israeli forces detained at least 3 Palestinians, including the parents of a wanted Palestinian, a tactic they have been using for years to pressure Palestinians to hand themselves in. And now on entertainment, a veteran Nollywood actor Amechi Monago recounts his health woes in a touching video as he gets paralyzed after suffering a partial stroke, calling on Nigerians to support him financially. Mavis Victor has the report.
The movie star, who during his healthy days starred in many movies, revealed in a video that he has been stricken by paralysis from a stroke and pleaded with fans and colleagues to come to his aid.
I am sick. This thing that is called stroke caught up with me. Right now, I cannot move. I walk on my own. On my half of left hand is paralyzed.
Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Temilade Okpeniyi, popularly known as Tems, has shared her harrowing experience in a Ugandan prison in 2020. Recall that in December 2020, both Tems and fellow Nigerian singer Omale were apprehended, charged, and subsequently imprisoned in Uganda for violation of COVID-19 social distancing regulations in place at the time.
That was so scary. Like I spent like 2 nights in prison.
In prison in Uganda? That's horrifying.
I thought I wasn't gonna come out. And as I was walking in, I started to cry because I was thinking they gave me my uniform. The uniform stunk and they don't wash it. People were like free Tems and free Omale, but I was just hopeful, you know.
A prominent Canadian author, Dawn Walker, has pleaded guilty after she was accused of kidnapping her son and faking her death. She was reported missing in the summer of 2022 and has said she disappeared because she was fleeing domestic violence. The police later charged her with 9 offenses, including parental abduction, identity fraud, and forging a passport.
Walker will now be serving a jail sentence, and this sentence really sends a message that the courts will not stand by and have people abscond with their children and take the law into their own hands.
Mavis Victor, RSTV Entertainment News.
And now in sports, the annual OML 58 host communities football competition organized by Total Energies Nigeria Limited has been declared open at Okehi Memorial Secondary School, Elele Okinali, in the Ikwere local government area of the state. Godspower Nele reports that 5 host local government areas, which are Onelga, Kelga, Emolga, Ahuda East and Ahuda West, were represented at the event. His report.
Declaring the competition open, spokesman of the Total Energies Nigeria Limited at the event, Jacob Oluge, explained that the competition, which began since 2002 to promote football, aimed at galvanizing cordial relationship among its host communities to engender peace, harmony, and development. He said the theme, Playing for Peace, has been retained for 3 tournaments due to its recorded successes, adding that this 20th edition has included under 20 players with a view to catch them young and has demonstrated their commitment for gender equality by including women in the officiating team and girls among the ball boys. Oluge, who commended the youth from the host communities of Total Energies Nigeria Limited as stakeholders for their active roles in securing their operational environment and facilities, urged them to raise awareness to other people against pipeline vandalism, drug abuse, and other social vices to enhance development.
In line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, the NPCL to TPNG joint venture is determined to identify with this competition as a demonstration of our commitment to encourage the youth in positive venture that can promote sustainable socio-economic development as well as empowerment.
Jacob Oluge, while commending the good job done by the organizers of the competition at the event as well as the media for their partnership, advised the participating teams to shun indecent play to avoid injuries and other casualties. He further admonished the players and their supporters to use the tournament to build friendship and expose their talents to the globe.
I reassure you of the commitment of the NNPCL TPNG joint venture to continue to identify with the youth in their efforts to engage in purposeful endeavors. Also use this medium to appeal to all of you to conduct yourself peacefully throughout the period of this competition.
Performing the kick-off exercise, Chairman Central Organizing Committee of the 20th edition of the OML 58 Host Communities Football Competition, Sahid Ogunsanya, said the tournament will go a long way to cement good working relationship and develop the youth.
We have also put a new thing in place. The team that is best behaved will go home with a fair play trophy. And that will be for every one of us to understand that the game of football, the round leather game, can be played with some level of discipline. I would like to say this, that during the course of this edition, there will be scouts, and so I expect all the players to put in all the best, ensure they show whatever talent they've got in them, they put in all the best.
Gospel Anele, RSTV News.
Do you love and care about River State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. And with that sports story, we come to the end of the news at 3. I am Akilachi KJ. Good afternoon.
When you try your best, but you don't